Hi folks, welcome back to the shop here at Project Pine Hills. Today we're talking about this Jufinx X301 electric air duster. You can see it comes with 2 batteries and they claim it has a wind pressure of 380 grams. We're going to check that. Quick look at the bottom of the box. You can see it has a brushless motor and overheating protection. Quick look at the back of the box. You can see it's made in China. Now Jufinx sent this to me. I'll have a link in the video description so you can check it out. All right, first I'm going to go over the features of this air duster. Then we're going to measure the RPMs and the amount of force of air this puts out. And we're going to get a quick decibel reading on it. But first, let's go over this air duster. All right, this kind of air duster is very popular right now. You can see the basic concept here is that it works a lot like a heat gun or a hair dryer. Air is drawn into the back of the unit and it blows out the front. Now this unit has replaceable batteries. You see a button right here. If I push this button, I can pull the battery out. It comes with 2 batteries. And you can see they're rated at 3,000 milliamp hours. And the batteries support USB-C charging. They have a port right in the battery. You just plug that in. You'll see these blue bars light up when it's charging. And these batteries charge up in 2.5 hours if they're fully discharged. And you'll see this battery just goes right up in here like a magazine, clicks into place. And of course, you can also charge these batteries in the unit. They don't have to be out of the unit. Now it's good you have replaceable batteries on this because I found that any cordless power tool that has a blower or a vacuum on it draws a lot of power. Now the way you operate this, if you look at the back, you'll see there's a button here. If we push that down, we have to hold it down and these 3 lights come on. That indicates the speeds of this unit. So right now it's on high and there's a trigger here in the front. Now this trigger is a momentary press trigger. So if I pull it, it only works when I have pressure on the trigger. If I push this button again, it goes down to speed 2. Now if I push the button, I don't have to hold it in. It locks on the on position. So if I press again, it goes down to its lowest mode, pull the trigger, and it holds that lower speed. Pull the trigger, it turns off. Now, if I just set this down, it'll automatically shut off, and these lights will go off, or I can press this and hold it and turn it off manually. Now, right now, this unit has a nozzle on it. If I take this nozzle, I can turn it a quarter turn, and it pops off. You can see that's what it looks like without any nozzles on it. There's more in the box. We're going to go over those. But here's a quick look around the unit. And I do like the fact these nozzles go on and it's just a simple quarter turn. And because this is a hex shape, we can tell if we have this locked in or not, because I can make sure I get these flat sides matched up with the nozzle. So I turn it there, now it's locked into place. That's the basics of how this electric air duster works. All right, let's see if we can get a quick reading on the RPMs of this. There I have a reading of 84,000. We checked the min-max, we see it went up to 99,000 RPMs, so that's pretty good. They claim on the Amazon link that they get 250,000 RPMs, but I think that's a pretty bold claim for any of these companies. I still think that's pretty good. And RPMs doesn't really mean a whole lot. Wind force is what really matters. And even over on Torque Test channel, when they were testing these, they mentioned that even in wind tunnels where they test Formula 1 race cars, they only go 360 RPMs. And of course, a wind tunnel is going to put a lot more air force out than this. So I don't think RPMs is really a great measurement. All right, let's see how much force the air this thing outputs creates. I'm going to take this tip off because I've noticed other channels have tested without the tip on here. We're going to measure against this scale in grams. Let's see what we get. All right, I got a high there of around 300 grams. Let's try it again. All right, 340 grams is the highest number that I saw on there. And you can see that air pressure we measured is not far off from the wind pressure they claim here of 380 grams. That's pretty good against the Wolfbox. Project Farm tested the Wolfbox at 334 grams. And Torque Test channel tested the new version of the Wolfbox that has the replaceable batteries at 181 grams. That's pretty good airflow from this unit. And that just gives us some kind of indication, because to really accurately test this, we'd have to test all the air dusters on the exact same scale here, but it still gives us some sort of reference point and the amount of airflow this can create. All right, let's check the weight on this real quick. See, it comes in at 13.1 ounces. All right, we don't have our full decibel meter with us today, so we're going to use this iPhone instead, but we'll get some idea of the decibels this thing puts out. And you see we got a reading of 92 decibels. Now let's take a look at what comes in the box. All right, so this is how it comes in the box, and it does include a nice manual. One thing worth pointing out is it does have a 2-year warranty. A small piece of foam right here. You see there's the air duster, how it comes in the box. Over here they have that spare battery. They have a USB-A to USB-C cable. And we have 3 different nozzles on here. One of them is a flat tip nozzle, that'll come in handy. And over here in this box, they call this a gift set. And if we open that up real quick, you can see it has a bag in here. Has their name on the front. And of course, that's designed to put this in. If you want to store it in here, you can. You know, it just fits right down in there. It's got a drawstring on it. It also comes with these handy little brushes as well to help with cleaning. And it also comes with a lanyard in this bag as well. And you can just put that through this lanyard loop here in the back of the unit. So that's everything that comes in the box. All right, let's check out the nozzles it comes with. You just do a quarter turn to remove the nozzle. Here's one that's a little bit smaller than the original one that I had on there. You can see it's got a smaller tip. That should increase the air pressure. I know it does for leaf blowers when you restrict the tip of the blower. They got a longer one here that you can put on. This is good for hard to reach areas. So that works great. And we can take that guy off. And this one I really like, I think it's probably one of the most popular tips, is this flat tip. That's going to give you good pressure and really direct the air well. And you see these nozzles store pretty easily. They can be nested and just stacked right on top of each other. So that makes it really easy to have them on you all the time. All right, let's take a closer look at this unit. So the unit's black and it has a sort of translucent bluish color cover here at the top of the unit. If you look at the side here, it has some numbers on it. We've got a couple slots right here on both sides and some small torque screws. And there's that trigger on the front. I'm going to push this button down right here and take the battery out. And we'll take this nozzle off. That quarter turn, we'll take it off. And we can look down here and see what we got. And there's a closer look at the unit. You can see the electric motors right here on the front. There's not a whole lot to it. If we turn around the back here, you can see the fan it's got in there. It's a silver colored fan that we can spin around there. That's almost reminds you of a computer fan that really spins up to high RPMs. And they got Jufinx printed right here on the side. The battery compartment has some openings in it. I guess that helps keep the battery cooler. And there's a closer look at the battery. See, we got a little lightning bolt here on the side of it. And we got the two connection slots here for the battery. Now, one thing I noticed about these batteries is there's 2 points of contact. You have these 2 slots here, then you also have these 2 contacts here on either end of the battery. So I tested those, and you'll see that those main contacts come in at 8 volts, and we check the outer contacts, and the outer contacts come in at 5 volts. I'm guessing the first 2 speeds are at 5 volts, and high speed is at 8 volts. Let me know in the comments what you think. One thing to note about this is that you can't put this in here backwards. It's not keyed really well. If you notice here, the slot is in a little different position on each side of the battery. That's how they've keyed this unit, so you don't put it in backwards. But it's easy to push this all the way up until it stops and realize, oh, I don't have it in the right way. Just need to make sure you have this USB port facing to the back of this unit and the battery indicator light showing up on the left side, right? So we just put it in there like that, and then it clicks right into place. So what do I think of these? Well, originally they seemed like they were just a replacement for canned air, but you can also use this to blow things off instead of using an air compressor or a leaf blower. You can also use this as an inflator for inflatables, which would be really handy. But you can blow sawdust off equipment. You can blow off your car after washing it. You can stoke a fire. You can blow off snow. Just really all around handy. And I really like its compact size, so you can fit this in your tool bag very easily. And I also think if you're going to get one of these, you've got to get it with an interchangeable battery, because these, like any blower, eat the battery up pretty quickly. And it's nice to be able to pull that cartridge out, grab your other battery, and just pop it right in there. So you definitely need that extra battery with that USB-C charging. Of course, with that battery, you can just stand the unit up. So that's really what I like about these, is you have that battery replacement. I also like the fact these batteries have their own USB-C port, so you can charge both these batteries at the same time and have them ready to go for you. I think it's really handy. It's clear why these are so popular. And I'm really impressed by the airflow that this unit puts out. All right, there you have it, folks. That's a quick look at the Jufinx X301 electric air duster. I'll have a link in the video description so you can check it out. And let me know in the comments what you think of this air duster. Do you already have one? How's it working out for you? I think it's kind of like tire inflators. Once you have one, you wonder how you got along without it. And please remember to like and subscribe. Those actions help me to continue to bring content to you here on the Project Pine Hills channel. And with that said, I'll catch you in the next video.